Welcome to CPTM Smart Partners Hub. Today is 17th of December 2015, and I would like to congratulate each and every CPTM Smart Partners, new and founders, 29ers or the 90s, for the great contribution that was made in this special year of 2015. Why was a special year 2015? Is because we know that for about 20 years as CPTM and for about 30 years as a network in the Commonwealth, the group has been making a tremendous contribution through innovative approaches to prosperity at the national level and to the regional and global interactions. Now, this is actually the final webcast of 2015. Our hub team has been following me, very inspired and very hardworking for the last 3 or 4 months to try to put in place all the necessary issues and webcasts and reading tips and facilities and lights, etc., and flowers and trees for the great anniversary of the 20th CPTM AGM, which at the beginning of December we celebrated in such a great style. Therefore, we are all very content, and is a good way to start a new year, particularly in the context of a very rapid, silent transformation that is taking place in developed, emerging countries or less developed countries. And for that reason, as is customary, the CPTM Smart Partners wish each other all the best for the new year through a card that everybody will receive, and which for 20 years I am trying to put together, trying to include all the reflections of the past and the future of, as far as possible, the smart partners who are active in our movement in CPTM. So here is today the card which you will be receiving probably by the beginning of the year, together with the usual customary calendar for the hubs, webs and networks, so that the highlights of the activities are being shared in a as timely manner and as smart as we can. So there will be, together with the card, the Smart Partners card, a message, and the message obviously reflects on the last encounter that we had during the think tanking and the open house, and which was entitled, as we know, Why Smart Partnership Grows. Now, there are insights and recipes that emerged from the encounter at the beginning of December at the hub, or those who were not at the hub virtually, participated virtually. And those will be followed by those who participated virtually or otherwise, and the CPTM framework, cooperative framework, will try to add value or to leverage everybody's effort or everybody's contribution in a smart partnership mode. That is the role of the CPTM cooperative framework. The issues that emerged during this year are very much related to this, what we call silent transformation processes that are taking place due to the data and digital impact on governance, on everybody's life, everybody's style of work, professions, including the opportunities that go with it, as well as the challenges. Therefore, the CPTM framework, which has been emerging and adapting in a most incredible way, formidable way, as His Excellency former President of Tanzania Kikwete mentioned during his participation at the think tanking. The CPTM cooperative framework is fit for the purpose of supporting this silent transformation within each country in the smart partnership movement, within each organization, within each smart partners link, and within each network and networks of the inclusive initiatives that evolved over the years. Above all, what we explored finally at the beginning of December, at the end of 2015, was the development of a future landscape for interactions related to the impact of digital transformation that is taking place. And this is probably one of the major achievements of the CPTM Smart Partners this year. Added to that, obviously, there are the many and many activities that are being driven by the national hubs or by smart partners individuals in one way or another, by fellows, by fellows emeritus, former heads of government, by smart 29ers, by links, business links, civil service links, etc. So the context within which in the next 5 years and probably in the next 20 years CPTM will become even more relevant is very much related to the power of smart partnership and harnessing that power, the power of the dialogue, the power of talk, and of course the power of being informed, selectively informed, timely informed, the power of reading. Now that is what it should emerge in a most decentralized and distributed way within the CPTM Smart Partnership movement, very much anchored in reality and very much supporting not only the self-development, including the self-critical development, but the contribution towards a smarter globe. So the various reading tips that are included in the message are related to just what I mentioned. There are a number of other recommendations that we thought, and I thought, that one should think of. If you have some recommendations of smart reading tips, just tip me on, and I'll be following them to those who are relevant. But as we know, the network of networks has in fact a core group of very active, synchronized individuals who happen to be either leaders of countries or leaders of organizations, leaders in business, entrepreneurs, scientists, cabinet secretaries, leading civil servants therefore, or youth. And all these are dependent on the ability to identify oneself with one issue at a time, alongside probably another 5 issues. And each issue one could be counting on about 25 is being said and researched other individuals that are also dealing with that issue. Therefore, as I mentioned in the last few months, there may be about 200 or so at any point of time very well synchronized individuals, smart partners, who are dealing with about 5 or 6 issues which are integrated and interconnected. Our movement includes wide group and diversity of professionals, and we are very proud of that. We've been able to leverage our participations into World Future Society this year in San Francisco, Public Sector Futures Network, PSFN, the Government Accountability Chief Scientist team in the United States, in Washington, the Club of Rome preoccupations, very relevant this year. They had their meeting just before the Paris climate talks. The international standards organizations, where the CPTM smart partners, particularly led by the chief executives from a number of Caribbean, African and Asian Bureau of Standards, are part of it, together with British Standards Institute and a number of other specialists around the British Standards Institute. They've been keeping us, and we kept them, up to date with the new developments within standards. We've been able for the first time probably to, not only ourselves, but the first time otherwise, to attract the attention to 53 heads of government at the importance of quality and standards, the strategic relevance of it, alongside the technology that goes with it. We've been able to lead actually the exploration within the data and financial technology, fintech, with the central bank governors, the financial inclusive initiatives, to whom we owe, since the last few years, a great deal. They've been able and ready to experiment and to expose themselves to the most recent, and as they happen, developments in relation to data, open data, cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, etc. And they've been able through them, we've been able through them, through central bank governors, to take forward and to probably be ahead of many others in trying to support our own members and entice them to understand the implications to governance of the big bank data. Now, I'm saying big bank data because this would cover probably most of the implications of data sciences, data centers, mobile technology, and all the rest of it that go with it. And CPTM Smart Partners Hub, being in London, is one of the greatest advantage that Smart Partners would have, if only there would be this very courageous initiative that will be put in place from the beginning of 2016 in relation to development of the landscape for digital opportunities and challenges. While London, as we speak, there is a first time big bank data exhibition which covers most of the related issues currently in the preoccupation of leading governments and leading technologies. Now one can experiment live what that means. You go to Imperial College, there is one of the largest screen where you within the data center that was just launched a few days ago, where you can follow all the financial transactions and interconnections that are taking place through the transmission of data and metadata. So London, for the time being, and UK, is probably leading the edge of the applications of data and the new methodologies and assessment of the challenges which go with it. Therefore, I can see the next 5 years and the next year as a silent transformation within the CPTM Smart Partnership Network of Networks, absorbing these great opportunities, particularly because of the power of smart partnership. Therefore, I would like to wish everybody, on behalf of our chairman Omar, on behalf of all our directors, on behalf of my Smart Partners Hub team, our engine, and on behalf of myself, a very good year, a smart year, and the curiosity and the intellectual robustness for trying to understand and take advantage of the implications of the digital age that is particularly now taking place, will be probably one of the major contributions that is still to come within the CPTM next 20 years. So, Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year and all the good health and happiness to your families and to yourself in particular. All the best, and see you in January 5th, when we will return back to the hub and to the engine. In the meantime, if you have any particular immediate reading tips or issues to share, you know my mobile and you know my email, so please get in touch. All the best.